Issues, the newest and youngest SMUD Utility Board member, Nancy Boyd.
For technology is really kicking off. It was the first time you could download, call lists. 4 years later as a candidate and as working on these campaigns, I feel as a Democratic Party, we keep reinventing the technology wheel. And it's always one company does this, one company does that. Where do you see either the DCCC or someone saying, this is the toolkit as a candidate? You can run a website, you can run whatever processing. Because I felt like every campaign I worked on, you start all over again. So how can we have a coordinated effort so we're not constantly reinventing the wheel for every local campaign, statewide?
So this is a great question. In some ways, it's a big question. Because, let me just tell a historical story. Democrats used to win the lion's shares of elections in this country. We raised the most money. And part of the reason we did that is our candidates would always get more checks with a smaller dollar amount. And then Ronald Reagan came through and basically, with Richard Viguerie, reinvented the technology tool of direct mail. Democrats said, what is this? We barely knew how it worked. For the first time in history, Republicans were getting more checks of smaller denominations. They ultimately out-democrated us in our own game. It is time we got serious about taking that back. That is what Obama did. That is why Obama won. So here's the next chapter, and I mentioned it. The best technology tool I've seen is this company called Civio, developed by grassroots activists like you out of Silicon Valley. It is a for-profit business, but it was developed largely by grassroots activists in Silicon Valley that ran the Obama campaign. All of you should talk to this woman. There are other technology tools being developed. Some of you may know I personally made a grant to any activist that can come up with the best party tools and software as an incentive to bring that next generation forward. I'm sure there are other good tools, as good as Civio out there, but I would urge you to talk to her. This is the future. What I'm very much hoping is that John Burton, who I expect will be the next party chair, will take this on as a big issue, and whether he does it personally or has a deputy who runs it, make sure that our candidates never lose an election because we went into the fray out enough technology behind. Anything else?
One more thing.
Sure.
The talk of the town these days is Twitter. I mean, you cannot go a day in our lives without hearing the word Twitter anymore. I mean, that's where a lot of folks are going. And I noticed from my Twittering and looking at who's Twittering, it seems to be the Republican side of the aisle kind of has us right now. They're all signed up. What can we do to encourage our leaders to start taking more advantage so that they're not kind of taking up all the oxygen?
This is exactly what I'm talking about, and it's just what Nancy said. The state Democratic Party needs a strong technology czar, and this person needs to be the repository where every one of our candidates, whether you're running for the United States Congress, or Governor of California, or for the SMUD Utility Board, can come to the Democratic Party and say, I need the basic tools to fight a modern campaign, and the party needs to give them the game plan to do that. It's something I have pledged to John Burton to help with, and I will do just that. Let me just close. Yes, sir. Go ahead. The question is, can technology help take the huge impact of money away and re-democratize politics? I'm here to tell you it can. I will tell you, 20 years ago, money determined straight out who won elections because it was all about TV. I know a little bit about this, having run for governor. Money still has a huge, huge impact. But increasingly, there are more and more ways to reach people. This is exactly why Obama did so well. This is exactly why you are so important. And I just want to say to every one of you, push John Burton and help him at the same time to make sure our candidates have the tools of the future. And just know, TV's importance is waning by the day. People now in America spend more time online every night than they do watching television. The lines crossed a few times, first time in our history, and the answer is, who's going to be there speaking to those people? We have lost talk show radio. Shame on us. I don't want to lose the internet. And I think the fairness doctrine works for the public airwaves. It does not work for the internet. And that's just the reality. There are many things, sir, in life I can change. AM radio is not one of them. And again, God bless you for being here. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak to you.
Hey, Steve.
Yes. Is that
I think that
ever cantankerous Nate? Go ahead, Councilman. Senator.
it's time to give Steve Wesley a round of applause. It was the party regulars who lost the last election for governor. Steve and his supporters did all they could to get him the nomination. It was not a fair game, nor was it parity. But the fact of the matter is that he's still here fighting for us, for the Democrats, for the future. The other guy is no place around. It goes to show that the young people are going to make the difference in what this world is going to be in the next generation, the generation thereafter, with leaders like Steve Wesley. Let's give him a round of applause.
God bless you. I appreciate that. You know, I got my start in the party when I was elected Northern Treasurer when I was 23, and I will always be active and loyal to the party. So, speaking of people who have made a real difference in the party, we have some awards to give out. And I just want to say there are a few things harder than holding statewide office. The demands on you, the challenges, the people in the press going after you are stunning. If there's one person who's really made a difference in this state to provide and re-inject democracy into the voting system, it is our Secretary of State who's been a champion for technology, fairness, and democracy. I'm proud to give this award to Secretary of State Deborah Bowen.